Okay, boys and girls, this will be part 2 of our learning about Henri Matisse. Here's the book I just read, Henri's Scissors. And this is where I asked you if you can go get your shapes and your black paper, or if you want to use another sheet of construction paper, any color is fine. I chose black just because the color really shows up on that, but you can use white or pink or blue or whatever color you want it to be, okay? So go ahead and empty out your bag of shapes and lay them all out in front of you. I have these plus a few extras that I had. Now, the other thing, boys and girls, you could do, hang on one second, I'm gonna go get a pair of scissors. I'll be right back. Now, the other way you can do this project, and if you want to do this, you can put this on pause and then start it up again, is that you can cut out your own shapes, right? The reason I gave you the ones that were already cut out is because we're not together at school, so I thought it'd be easier if you had your own. But if you would like to cut out your own shapes for this, that would be really fun, and that would be the same kind of art that Henri made, but I gave you the shapes that were already cut out. So that's another way you could do this, because what we're doing is we're taking all of these fun, interesting shapes and we're going to make them into a picture or collage where we put lots of different shapes on the paper at one time. But again, if you wanted to be like Henri, you could take your own paper and you can cut a shape any way you would like it to look, right? Right now, this is just a plain triangle, but like Henri, he just picked up a pair of scissors and started to cut. And you could make all kinds of interesting things. Could zigzag, they could be straight. Well, that could be one of your shapes, right? Or you could even use the piece that was left over from when I cut that. That could be one of your shapes. So that could be a really fun part of this if you would like to cut out your own pieces. And this is a great way to reuse. Maybe you have scrap paper laying around or things you've used for another project, and you could cut them out and use them. Even this one, if I want to, I could cut this into 2 pieces. Now I've got this really fun piece and this fun piece. So you decide, boys and girls. If you'd love to go cut your own shapes, go ahead and put this on pause and then cut out your own shapes, and then you can bring them back, okay? You'll also need a glue stick or glue bottle, depending on what you have. I like to use a glue stick here. I don't need a lot of glue like for our glue bottles. I'm gonna open up my glue stick. This one's like brand new, right? And now the size of the paper, if you're gonna use this one, you can do this size, or if you wanna do a bigger piece of paper, you certainly could, right? You could make a nice big piece of art. So, okay, so what you're gonna do is lay this down in front of you. I'm gonna lay it this way, facing you, so that you can see it. Let me back this up. I wanna make sure you can see it, it's not propped up. Now, I've got all of these fun shapes in front of me. Look at all of them. Oh, so fun. And so I'm gonna decide how I would like to make my collage. So now, when you make a collage, you can either glue one piece at a time, or if you'd like to lay your design out first and decide how you want your pieces to look, you can do that and then glue. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I like to lay mine out first in case I change my mind about anything. But if you want to just go ahead and glue as you go and see where everything ends up, you can do that too. So as you can see, I've got a lot of really fun shapes. Now I love color, so I'm going to be using a lot of different colors on mine. But if you like to use just 1 or 2 colors or change yours up, this is the wonderful thing about art, is you can decide how you want to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start laying pieces out on my paper and see how I'd like them to fit. Now in a collage, they can definitely overlap a little bit, or you can just sort of fit them together like a puzzle, right? Now this one I have, and I have 2 of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and change this shape a little bit. And this is where I can take my scissors and I can decide what kind of fun shape I'd like to have. So my apologies, boys and girls, we're having a little bit of noise from next door, from the dog barking next door. Sorry about that. Hopefully she'll be going in just a little bit. So I made that fun shape instead, so I can put that maybe right there. That looks fun, huh? All right, and then I've got a pretty yellow one that comes out in the corner like this. I might put that under this one a little bit. I'm gonna overlap that. And then, oh, you know me, I love pink. So it's almost like a fun puzzle, trying to figure out where I want to put things together and see how they fit. This one is really fun. I like the squiggly shape of this blue one. So I might put this one maybe on a diagonal like that. That looks fun, huh? And then what other colors do you think? How about some green? I don't have some green. And that's got some nice straight edges, but I've got a lot of things with straight edges, so I'm gonna go ahead and just make that a little more curvy and pointy. I kind of like doing zigzags and curves, and it's fun. Like I'm sure Henri experienced, once you start cutting things, it's fun to see what kind of shapes you could make, huh? Or what even they might look like. I'm gonna put that one, I think, like that. What do you think? Like that? Awesome. All right. Oh, I need some red. I'm trying to think of all my colors. So that's a nice pointy one. So that kind of fits right there in the middle. And then let's see, are there any colors I have not used? I have purple. Oh, I have not used my light blue. This was that fun shape I made in the beginning, wasn't it? So I'm gonna see where that fits. Maybe, and it's gonna overlap. I'm gonna slide it under the orange so it peeks out the other side there a little bit. That's fun. And then let's see, I've used yellow, oh, I haven't used this color pink. So I'm gonna take, this one, and I'm gonna do some more with this. So I think I'm just gonna cut that off. I like this little thing on top. And then I'm going to cut that like that. And then a little, oh, it almost looks like an N, doesn't it? And I'm gonna lay that right into this space. And finally, let's see. I've used all the colors I have in my pile, so maybe I'll pick one more color I'd want to repeat. I love yellow because it's nice and bright, and I like this because it kind of fits in there, but I'd like to make this one a little more interesting. So I'm gonna do a little curly, 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 curly edge on this one. What do you think? Maybe leave the straight edge, or let's make this edge zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig. How about that? Super fun. I'm gonna lay that one in here, and then I can decide, do I want anything else? I could make small shapes. Now here's what I like. See, this is fun. So this is the leftover piece from the green that I cut. And now if I cut little pieces off of this, ooh, fun. These green ones can kind of fit into some of these spaces that might be, oh, here, like this, a little more empty. Like that. And maybe, I'm gonna cut that like that. I can put this green one like that. All right, what do you think? Like it? Yeah, so that makes the collage, and you can add more to that, as many as you like. I'm gonna pull this one out because already I'm finding that straight edge to me is not very exciting. So I'm gonna make a little bit more of a rounded edge, and then maybe it has a really sharp point on it like that. And then I'm gonna lay that back down there. Oh, that's fun. Okay, and I would like to have a little more orange. So let's just make something different. How about real thin? And oh, that's fun. Looks a little bit like a check, doesn't it? Okay, so maybe I'll put that right there. Okay? And again, you can keep going. But I think for now, I think that's how I'm going to keep my collage. And then I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to lift each piece and glue it onto the page. So I'll start with the things that are over here, right? And I'm going to put the glue on the shape, right? Not on the paper, because the shape is a little bit odd. So you don't necessarily know if you put the glue on if you've gotten the right shape. So there it is. And now I'm going to lay that in here. All right, and I'm going to lift up that yellow one because the blues. Now, when I lay this back together, it may not look exactly like it does, or I might decide as I do this, I'm like, oh, I kind of like to change that one. Or I can slide this under here like this, and then I can just lift it and add some glue, underneath, right, and slide that under like that, right? And away we go. So I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna get it all glued together, and then I will post a picture of my Matisse artwork on Seesaw for you to see. So I can't wait to see what you make. So again, boys and girls, you choose your background if you want to change your paper, and you've got the shapes that I gave you. You can go ahead and keep them the shape they are, or you can go ahead and cut them to make them a fun shape that you want to have on your collage. Ooh, that's fun too. There's so many possibilities. And then glue everything on and make sure you send me a picture, okay? All right, enjoy, boys and girls. Have fun. I'll talk to you this afternoon.